Okay guys, can I one-tap Raven? Because everybody is about if this, if that, but Raven needs some love too, alright? Raven needs some love. One tap. We're looking for abnormal. Abnormal. Okay guys, say it with me. Abnormal. You are abnormal. 2. Abnormal. Abnormal.
Everything I do is for him.
Okay. Where is it? Where is it? Abnormal. Abnormal. Abnormal.
Everything I do is for him.
Okay, 2. Now this pool is abnormal, I'm going to say, right? Usually you don't just one tap and get 2. This is some abnormal luck right here. Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here. Welcome back to another Nikke Goddess of Victory. A little bit of a disappointment with Raven. Alright, so if you guys are not aware, or if you haven't heard already,
everything about this place gets
her
on my
skill
nerves.
is a little bit lackluster, and also there's going to be there's going to be some conversation regarding whether she's bugged or not, and I try to not to focus too much on that, because at the end of the day it comes down to the damage that she can do, right? If right now she is only doing this amount of damage, then that's going to be how it is, right? Because by saying that her skills is bugged, it's going to give the players the impression that Shift Up is going to try to fix her, but I have a feeling that that may or may not happen, right? So I don't want to give anyone hope. Going to be something that I've been hearing from both sides, that her skill is slightly bugged and it's not working as intended, but then it's probably going to be much more complicated because it's a DOT, right? Now what is Raven specializes in, right? Where does she shine? She's similar to Eve in terms of she's an iron type DPS, burst free, but she's rocket launcher as opposed to Eve being an assault rifle. So the skill 1 is going to be where you will see a lot of these issues, because she's going to do DOT, sustain damage, right? Deal 68% sustain damage every 1 second, stacks up to 10 times and lasts for 5 seconds. Now I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to be possible generally, just due to the nature of how slow her attack speed is, right? She will never reach max stacks. Stacking 10 times and last for 5 seconds is just not going to be possible. So unless you have like extra boost with some characters, I've tried to boost her with mana and stuff, and that's just going to be what it is. Now she does have attack boost when she bursts, and then damage to parts is going to basically increase right here when she bursts as well, and then she has a sustain damage increase even more with the vital attack and stuff, right? And when she bursts, she does a 492% final attack as burst skill damage, affects all enemies including parts, and this is going to remove the single point attack, and of course her sustain damage goes up to 89.44%. So very simple, very straightforward character, but here's the funny part, right? Raven is going to be one of the characters that, based upon theory and upon calculation, every player has been calculating and trying to theory craft, everybody was saying that she is better than Eve, based upon theory, alright, based upon calculation and just that alone. However, when it comes to practice, she is severely underwhelming. In most cases, in most situations, Eve does slightly more damage than her, and even then Eve is not that strong of a character as well, right? So keep in mind that that is going to be based upon what I've discovered today on the testing results. Ooh, oh, neck in neck.
Talk about
Evangelon logo has crawled out. Alright, look at this. 1856. Boom. Boom. Even with crown, Eve is better. Even if people say that, okay, Raven needs parts to basically be able to benefit from this one, right? She gets damage to parts is going to increase her battle. But Eve also has her kit incomplete here, because we are not shooting a boss that's weak against iron type in this case, right? Electric code, we're not getting this here. We're also not getting this right here. Yeah, this one. So we're not getting this as well. So even if it's not getting all of her kits, but still they are quite, I would say they are quite even, right? Raven needs charge speed and adjutant cube. I still think they probably would be in the same tier. I don't think one is way stronger than the other one to justify the difference in tier. So they are about the same actually. Alright, let's look at all the damage results. So hopefully you guys get an idea of where I'm coming from. So I tried it with Mars Romantic and of course Maid Anchor, right? So Maid Mars, Maid Anchor, this is Eve's best team because it gives Eve the bonus crit rate. So initially I thought, okay, So we are getting Eve is going to do more damage because this is in a team that favors Eve as opposed to Raven, right? Because Raven don't have any synergy. Maybe sustain damage buffer is gonna help her a little bit. So I try to swap the positioning around, and you can see Eve is still going to do more than Raven. So I tried a different team. This time I took both of them out and I put Crown in there, and of course I put Noir as well. So this is a team fighting against a boss that's non-elemental advantage, no longer fighting an iron weak boss, alright? So, and you can see right now Eve is still doing a little bit more. And of course, I tried with more and more tests. Obviously, try to put in mana right there to hopefully give Raven the boost. Now with mana, you can see surprisingly here, right? Let's say if you are to use Raven and Eve in the same team, and you put mana right there. Mana, for those of you who are not aware, what she does is she improves the charge speed for one rocket launcher character. So in this case, Raven get the boost. But it's just the boost from mana is not even that strong, 504 million. You might as well just use Noir because Raven gets 506 million. Noir is going to buff both Raven and Eve right here. So yeah, using mana for Raven is not going to make sense because her damage is not as high as someone like Scarlet Black Shadow, where the scaling is going to increase proportionally because her damage is quite lackluster. So it's just not going to make sense in that particular situation, right? If I were to compare to Red Hood, it's a toss-up, right, between who you are fighting. I feel like Raven and Red Hood can be very, very close, but I still feel like with parts, Red Hood is probably going to be better. Alright, that's going to be something that's hard for me to test in a shooting range scenario. But the last final testing right here is in a sustained damage team, or DOT team rather, because that's where Raven shines at. As you can see, I put Swimsuit Rosanna. Raven lost to Brady. Alright, and of course we don't really compare to Mihara right there. So Brady is actually a better DOT character than Raven. Alright, now of course if you're talking about specifically Iron Weak, then that's fine. But if you're talking about like a DOT team, like if you want to build a specific DOT team, just like how you want to make a shotgun team, Raven is not like the first character that comes to mind due to that. So with that, I also have dug around in Discord as well. There's plenty of players. They have built their Raven, and even with parts, she has been really underwhelming. So one of the screenshot right here is from Discord, as you can see. This one is with parts. So Raven is barely doing half of Mihara's bonding chains damage right there. Kind of insane. And then there's one more right here against Ultra, I believe. So this one is going to be very, very interesting. You can see Raven is doing way less than Red Hood. Alright, so if you look at the gears that was presented, I was being told that this one, if you look at the Red Hood, has 95% elemental damage, and Raven has even higher, 99%. Raven even have higher attack percent, whereas Red Hood only 36%. But still, the damage difference here is just too huge to consider, right? So I feel like for a lot of players, for a lot of cases, Raven is not as strong as we thought she would be. So she felt really, really lackluster based upon plenty of veterans or whales that have been building her, trying to make her work. So right now, let's talk a little bit more about the bug that people have been discussing about, right? Okay, so some people are saying Raven is bug, some people are saying it's not bug. So this person is saying it's not bug, so some people are saying it's bug, so I don't know who to believe. At 60 FPS, okay, landing a fully charged attack with Raven deals 1 stack of DOT damage and resets the next DOT tick to be 90 frames away, 1.5 seconds. Subsequent ticks are 60 frames apart, 1 second, unless Raven lands another fully charged attack, in which case it will be reset to 90 frames away. This means ideally you should only land a fully charged attack after at max stacks, only for reapplication purposes. Since it lasts 5 seconds, what a bummer. The other times she should either hold full charge but not release it, spam shot, or go AFK, go behind cover, whatever, just don't release a fully charged shot. What? Then I cannot auto her then, right? So I need to spam shot or go AFK. The ticks after a fully charged attack will be 1.5 seconds away, 2.5 seconds, 3.5, 4.5, then it expires. You want to reapply immediately after the 4.5 seconds tick, but if you wait too long, past 5 seconds, you are doomed and will restart from 0 stack. Damage on auto on perfect charge speed amount, reapplication every 1.533 seconds. Expected stack damage on manual, no need to charge speed, 41 stacks. Okay. There is 25% damage difference. Not that base Raven versus perfect Mono Raven is much larger difference. So it's actually about 25% more. The same behavior can be observed with Mihara Bonding Chain, I think, and we have noted that down, easily observable on burst skill usage, but it has very minimal impact on her because she reapplies her DOT stacks in batches, so it may not be a bug. Her damage is really lacking, right? I wonder if this 25% more is going to save her. It's probably going to make her do a little bit more. Now, what do I think of her overall right now? I feel like she is lackluster, and in my opinion, she is going to be the same as Eve for most players. Now, what do I mean by that? If you think Eve is strong, then that's where she's at. If you think Eve sucks, then that's where she's at. So my opinion on Eve hasn't changed. She's still a little bit of an underwhelming character. She's a solid A tier to S tier, but she's not going to be SS or SSS. So Raven is probably going to be in the same tier as Eve in most cases, right? I personally think Eve is a little bit better because she is going to give you more net return, and I think she's way more flexible, at least for me as a veteran player. Now, if you have the proper team for Eve, then Eve is probably going to be better. Raven, right now, she felt a little bit clunky, and I feel like unless she gets a buff, that's going to be my honest thoughts for her. But again, this is based upon day one testing. There's a chance that I might change my opinion later on after testing her further, but for now, this is going to be what it is. So yeah, if you guys are pulling, for me, I would just go for one copy and I wouldn't go in too deep because she's not like super crazy meta. Wait for the next Iron DPS that perhaps will be able to compete with her, and we'll see how that goes. So with that being said, that's going to be for this particular video. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Give this video a like. Have a nice day. Goodbye.